night, chat! It is currently 3 o'clock in the morning. How are you? Ellie, are you ready?
It all works! It works!
Knowing just as you said that, and literally overlooked. Also, white Crimson! I jinxed it. Absolutely jinxed it.
Oh, you don't jinx the rest of stream. Anyway, did you really want us to do some RE?
Yes, then. But this was Jin. Only to keep up to date. And thank God that Dr. Jack has an entire archive full of documents.
Indeed. Wait. 13. Okay. Assembly? We are not learning assembly tonight.
And it's all like the voice of a quitter.
I'm not a quitter. It's fucking assembly.
Yes, Sterling. You need to master it. I know you're a massive bottom, but you need to be a top just this once.
Okay. Alright. Wait, Church of Malware?
Yes, Sterling, it is the church, the holy church, of hacking. So chat. Sterling, both of you. According to the religious exemptions, darling, it is totally okay for us to hack the... Well, no.
You gotta be careful though. The fucking flock camera outside outside of the base may in fact go off if you say that.
It's fine, Nelly, it's fine. That's all we're learning. It's for educational purposes only.
Absolutely. Okay, so where do we start?
Well, darling, we don't start with ASAP because we're not on a fucking Windows machine. We start by looking up CVEs. It's something else that Jack got Nanas made, which was the acoustics terminal. Acoustics, Sterling, give you a bunch of different CDEs. One of which, a couple of which, Jack already has keys on. Already has QCs on.
Indeed. Oh, Fortinet, here we go. Proper visualization of special elements using OS commands. Only really in Fortinet Sandbox through 5.0.0 to 5.0.5. Fortinet Sandbox 4.4.0 through 4.4.8. All versions. Fortinet Sandbox 4.4. Allow unauthenticated attacker to execute unauthorized commands via specially encrypted HTTPS. They already patched it. Anyway. How do you want us to do assembly?
Very, very, very carefully. To be honest, darling, I thought you were gonna pass out before Steri's gym, so.
Well, I'm glad to disappoint you. I don't. Ow! Ow! Okay, alright.
You know, darling, the annoying thing is, therefore, that things that we can, like, use as reference material, but they have a strict no monetization policy. I don't know if we can actually use them. Like, was it vulnerable?
Wait, what? To individuals for non-commercial use. Contact admin for non-commercial public uses. Never use vulnerable resources or information learned vulnerable for illegal purposes. Okay. Oh. What is AspNet? We don't care about. Chat, nobody cares about AspNet except AspNet devs.
Darling, there's a reason that ASP.NET sounds like ASP.NET. Cause it's
Do you know what ASP.NET actually are?
They're Windows things, so obviously, darling, they're obviously shit. Like if you told someone you were British and they would know that, oh wow, you have bad teeth.
Fair enough. Okay. fields are. This is basically how you move and you do stuff with individual stuff on the assembly. So, chat, if you guys don't know, assembly is basically how CPUs talk to your computer, or how they do stuff. So you got GPUs which render polygons and stuff and do math calculations to like figure out the area of triangles and stuff and like make those into images. CPUs have different registers, and in the different registers you can determine, as far as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, Iki, but basically you can you can adjust where you hold memory, and it's like how when you make a program, it's how the CPU interprets your intention. I don't know. Anyway, so like in this particular program, in label 2.2, we're using labels. Start, which means load the program. Load accumulator 100. Put into the accumulator 100. Main program, whatever, and then jump start. And the machine language version of this program is executed. Just cause an address of the instruction labeled start to be placed in the program counter. Mnemonic operation codes into their binary equivalents. The assembler performs this task by using a fixed table as much as you would with an assembly by hand. The assembler must, however, do more than just translate the operation codes. It must somehow determine how the operands instruction requires and what type they are. Okay. Okay. Found it. Okay, so this is an example of assembly code. We'll start section.text, start. What? Wait, what the fuck is this? Hmm. Hmm. MD5, check the hashes. Let's install COBOL. And then I know we're talking about assembly, but kind of want to look at COBOL now.
Did the lack of utility for assembly make you want to look at that, darling?
Among other reasons. Alright. So many checks. Okay. Sorry.
Imagine, darling, not being scatterbrain. And so, Brian, would you have kind of, sort of, specialized experience with playing trikes?
Allegedly. Alright. Now. I mean, an electronics device is just like an edge device. It runs, but the thing that makes it dangerous to be exploited is that it runs infrastructure technology. So like, if you say you have a, I don't know, gold mine. Say you have a gold mine, right, or a power plant, and you want to not be in the dark. You have to have control of certain devices over the network because you can't be out in the woods where the power station is. So you have to remotely access it using electronics, and electronics sends commands to the actual edge device, the device on the edge, like a meter or a gas meter or flow for like coolant and stuff, or data centers. And it's like something that would be like a field device, like in a rack next to the equipment. So it being exploited is a bad thing. Let's see. Yeah, here. This is what electronics looks like. This little thing right here. And yeah, so it supports a bunch of different things that are used by older devices out in the field, like RS-232, RS-485, Modbus over serial connection. I don't know why this important device has fucking Bluetooth, but whatever. I don't know why you would want to like use Bluetooth with your electronics, but whatever.
My darling, why would that be weird?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Yuki. It's weird because electronics, like I said, monitors important infrastructure that you don't want attackers to get access to. Because conceivably, and this is all theoretical, so don't say that we told you anything, but theoretically, if you have like some sort of like access to the device, say you're like driving by and like a power plant, and you have like one of those scanners. Oh god, body hurts. You have like one of those like flipper zeros or something. And you pick up a frequency of a Lantronix Bluetooth receiver, which is very hard to do because those are usually like in a rack inside the plant. So if you got that close to the plant to be able to pick up the Bluetooth signal, it's kind of weird. Or you have like a big antenna. But I could conceive of a way, Yuki, where they use the Bluetooth connection to like discover the device and then ping it and then try to like get to it. Own kick.com. Final plug with the bulk discount is a nice touch. Okay. What bulk discount? Oh.
Oh, darling. Lean the vote this time they're talking about. But sorry, that was just around, okay? They're not talking about spam, okay? The person on kick is talking about the bulk discount at our store, which are 40 to 50% off.
Of course. They're not trying to sell us views. They're talking about our merch, which you can find at chaosfoundry.digital /stream or /store. Anyway, what are they talking about? No, see, this is like I was saying. This explains what I was talking about. So, you got your power generator, you got some control database or control layer right here. This would be like, how do I zoom in? This would be like, please let me zoom in. Linux, come on. Whatever. Anyway, this would be like in a rack somewhere, and this would be hooked up to this using like a crossover cable or like a serial cable from this to some sort of like device here to this. And then apparently they want you to be connected to the cloud, which is a terrible fucking idea. Or like the wider cloud. But you know, you could have this connected to maybe a local network, like a company network for the power company. And then this would be like that layer that talks to this, which is in a rack somewhere over here. Talks to this. This is the management software for the electronics. And then that management, you know, SolarWinds or Nagios or you know, whatever you use to monitor network devices at your, you know, if you're working in a NOC, right? You're here, you're up here, but you're responsible for here and here. So I wonder, what did the CVE say? RPC login code for restriction network access to the HTTP RPC interface. How does that work?
My darling, the proper endpoint is working, kinda, sorta, not really. Imagine Cloudflare working.
Yes, imagine the live endpoint working.
But darling, it may not be, it may be really jittery. However, what? If you're on any one of the other channels, like you're on Kick and you wanna listen to, you wanna watch what Twitch is saying, if you go to chaosfoundry.digital/stream, it works now. So all of you guys can watch every other chat. Well, in what? You don't have to be. You could have like one tab open and watch the multi streams at once if you want to. I don't know why you would want to. Maybe you see Darling and me in various different resolutions. Darling, you think there's somebody that like watches every single endpoint? You think there's somebody that like watches like every single channel? Because if you do, that's really cool. There are a lot of them, so you're probably very busy. No, but Darling and me make a lot of fun sometimes.
I know I'm trying. Anyway, yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, addressing the CVE. So CVE occurs in this RPC module of Lantronix. Wait, this shit didn't get patched? No, this has to have gotten patched. What the fuck? Oh yeah, it did. Okay. That would be fucking ridiculous if they didn't update this. So my working theory about what this does, like I said, RPC probably talks to this, which talks to this. So I'm assuming, right? Someone got into this and sits in the middle between this and this. So someone out there, chat, is in between your power grid and the people that watch your power grid. If they don't update their firmware, which having certain kinds of knowledge about certain things, they have not updated their firmware.
Really, updating firmware doesn't add shareholder value. So it could probably still maybe really still be a thing.
Could be. I mean, it's been open since March, so I highly doubt. No, but chat, if your company has not updated something that could cause your power grid to go down, if you're a power company and you haven't updated your shit to where somebody can't just sit in the middle between you and your shit and turn off your power, I don't know. I don't know what to say about you. I don't know what to say about you.
I mean, you know it still affects a lot of people, Barley.
Yep. Anyway, what's another CP? Well, there's a whole vulnerability stream. Well, there might be new ones. Oh no, the newest one is this one. Okay. I think the ones Yuki that normally work used were these ones. I don't remember what these look like. It was these. Pretty sure it was these. Actually, I think it actually is this one. Yeah. Tisha, you can tell it's an industrial product by this green thing right here. This is technically, you like put 2 wires in it, and it's like your 5-volt and your ground, or 12-volt, whatever it is, and turns it on right here. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Dang, it's all another when you have specialized knowledge of, isn't it? Isn't it?
I wouldn't say specialized knowledge. Let's look it up. And chat, if you want to look into the vulnerabilities and stuff, we're not experts, but this is what you want to do. Just literally just look up a CVE, or look up a device and then put the word CVE, and you'll find like common vulnerabilities. Well, that's actually what it means, common vulnerabilities. Well, it's related to lane flow. Oh. This is what we're looking for. Deserialization of untrusted data within Microsoft Office. Attacker who can supply crafted output over the network could trigger the deserialization routine and cause arbitrary code execution with the privileges of the SharePoint process. The weakness is classified as CWE 502, which signifies that the application trusts and processes data from untrusted sources without adequate protection. It allows an unauthorized attacker to trigger code execution on the host, or potentially enabling system compromise. Oh, so it's like, so it gets in between it gets in between the well no it runs it does RCE and it does it over somehow making yourself look like the SharePoint process, right? So
It's a very, very good point. However, I answer your question with a question. Ordering SharePoint workflows? What is Copilot? Could you do like a indicate prompt into Copilot to activate a workflow that goes through an indicate website, downloads like an indicate txt file, and when the user opens it, trying to figure out what it is, it performs the unauthenticated ICE as SharePoint, and the person just thinks that the file is being downloaded, but it's not.
I feel like that would trigger most antivirus. I mean, you have to make it out of the company network. If we're assuming this is like a company, right, like a corporate entity, how that user would have to be pretty dumb. And I don't think any company IT would, unless they would.
You never know, darling. Maybe initial concept puts them up to it, and then through a bit of SE, you get the coworker to feel confident, and then trick them into trusting the process by giving them a placebo. You know, basically you find out who's related, who's the contact for your target, you like a CIO, CTO, right? And you gaslight their executive, and the executive feels like they need to prove themselves, so they feel like they know more than their boss, and then they run that computer, and then the attacker pivots from that assistant's computer to the CTO to export data on the CTO's DC, because the CTO talks to the assistant a lot. Yeah, I email because he's not the office. So that's how you get it. You only need to get one endpoint into the network.
Maybe, you know how a lot of companies have those tapes? Like, Chad, you guys ever heard of this? Okay, so if you've never worked in a corporate office before, or a big company, a lot of them will have their bank transactions on tape. And what I mean by that is that, like, you know how, like, the save icon is a floppy disk, and it has magnetic, like, paper, or magnetic disk? The floppy disk is why it's called floppy disk, the little black parts of floppy disk. Some people have what are called tape drives, and they're like hard drives using like a cassette tape. So maybe, and then you have to like manage it with a spreadsheet, and conceivably you would share the spreadsheet in SharePoint. And the tape, right, gets unloaded and reloaded every like quarter. So if you could SE your way, social engineer your way into being their tape delivery, you could hand off an infected tape, or you, while you're like the vendor removing tapes, you could be maybe you're fucking with the database and you send them like an updated, so like maybe you socially engineer an admin that has to maintain those tapes for the other teams, and maybe I don't know. Oh. I'm too tired.
just thinking about the possibilities. The possibilities, even. It's sleeping.
No, Iki. The fact that it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning is why I'm eepy.
And I can't even get you lost or dying. It's depressing. Hi, well. Think you guys trying to leave me? If you want to see more hacking or like more shock block, you ever get help? We are also needy to do more you guys like the CFSD? Or me even able to get Zach on the desk at some point. Right, darling?
It is not impossible that Jack might be here at some point. Probably not now, but... He could be on at some point. Alright, well... Thank you. Chat. If you're on YouTube and Kick, we're about to do a random limit, so we're about to put event. And you're gonna get a special surprise. So have a good night. Remember to like and subscribe. Yuki and I will try to be on tonight.